Well, hello everyone and welcome to the Skool Bookshop. And today I'm super excited to have Raelene Byrne, the author of Alchemy of Awareness, in the reading room today. So Raelene and I have known each other for, I'm guessing about 25 years, I think, Raels, is that right?
Yep.
It would have to be. And I have watched Raelene speak on numerous stages in front of thousands of people. She is one of those authors and speakers that absolutely blows your mind. Every time she gets on a stage, every time she talks to you, there's always something that you come away thinking, wow. And we were talking the other day about something that Raelene said in the conversation, and it was living and creating from enough instead of fixing not enough, which I think just sums up everything right now. And I can't wait to hear more about that, Raelene. I'm going to, because you're so experienced, I'm going to throw over to you. And so you can talk about your journey as an author, about what you do, how you do it, that kind of thing. And then we'll come back in about 10 minutes and we'll flip to some questions that I have for you, and we'll continue on that way.
Sure. So the first thing I'd like to do is collect our energy. So it's really nice, before we have meetings and things like this, to just all come together and breathe together. So let's just close our eyes for a moment. And you can put your hand on your heart if you like, if that brings you to your heart, or not. It depends how experienced you are with this. I like to put my hand on my heart. And just taking a breath in, just breathe in, just feel the breath, and then exhale. And then take another breath as if you're breathing to the bottom of your feet, like that deep breath, draw it all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And as you're breathing down, saying to yourself, my body is relaxed. And with the exhale, bringing it up and out through the nose, my mind is softening. Take another really deep breath into the bottom of your feet. And as you're breathing in, saying, my body is softening. And as you exhale, my mind is relaxing. And then another deep breath, really slow, deep breath. My mind and body are relaxed, soft, and open. And as you exhale, I am here. And take one breath into your heart. And exhale, and then we come together, we open our eyes. So, yes, that question. Before I go on, would you like me to read something from my book around enough? Okay.
Perfect.
So quite a few years ago, when I was writing this, I had this big experience around treating enough like a virus. It's not who we are. It's something that we have to, it presents in our life for us to look at and work with. So, and then I've evolved since then. So it's interesting that the question I'm asking has evolved from this. So this is from my book, a chapter on enough. At some point, our wellness, health, and vitality will be interrupted by an illness like a virus. It often takes something like this for us to stop, take stock of where we're at, and connect back with what our bodies need. To pause what we're doing, to take a rest, eat better, sleep, take baths, get some fresh air and sunshine. Sometimes we need to cocoon ourselves. Sometimes we need to take more vitamins. We become proactive while the virus runs its course. We take care of ourselves. We engage in the healing process. We allow the virus its rite of passage. And we know it is not really us. It is an invader, a gift reminding us that we can treat ourselves better. We know that the virus has a short lifespan. It can knock us over. We can feel bloody awful, and we will call it, I'm unwell, so I'm taking a few days off to deal with it. And just this one little other bit. There's a whole lot more, but I'm just going to skip to this other paragraph. We know the not enough that knocks our confidence around is not true. It is like a belief lying dormant that arises when we are disappointed, lethargic, comparing ourselves, feeling like we aren't doing anything. When we've lost direction and purpose, we can't imagine any new goals. We feel stuck or in the place of experiencing the mundane. We can't allow the not enough virus to take over. So when we are weak, our immune system is open to virus and bacteria, so our body is taken over by feeling ill. Our emotional and mental states, when weakened by battling old beliefs, disappointments, or rejections, will succumb to not enough to play out the story. This is your opportunity to recognize that this is not who you are. It is only a belief or pattern that has been entrenched from earlier in life and through the ancestry of our families. So it's a deep one for everyone. And recently I was speaking at an event, and the next level of this enough came out. And there was a group of people, and they were all, money, trying to make money and wealth and property and all the rest of it. And halfway through my presentation, this thing just dropped in, as it does, and I had to share it. And the question I asked everyone there was, how would your life feel if you were creating and living from enough instead of trying to fix not enough? Because most of the industries that in today's world are all about there'll never be enough. There'll never be enough. So it triggers so much in us, and it brings up our not enough, I'm not enough. So we're in this really interesting time where we are leaving old identities and stepping into parts of ourselves that know we are abundant. There is an abundant world around us. There is so much for us to participate in and create. And these little moments in our life are all things that pull us back to make us reset, regroup, sort ourselves out, and then look at where we want to be and what we need to put in place. So it's a really nice way to look at when something like that is going on. Treat it like a virus. It's not there forever. It's just something that needs to be addressed and taken care of and nurtured, honoured and owned, but also to be moved through. So that's one of the reasons I wrote this book. Was it's 52 chapters of shifts in consciousness, because we're in such a great time of transformation, a critical time on the planet. We're stepping into an energetic experience that humanity has never had before. So there is so much going on. There's so much confusion, as we know. We can feel it, see it, and we're part of it. But this book here is to bring you back. It's simple, everyday processes to bring you back into your truth, your own knowing, your own wisdom, and to move from there. The core of what I really believe is everything is simple, practical, doable, and relatable. And if we got those principles around us as support mechanisms, we can get through anything, because most of the things we live in life now are way too complicated. They've been added to and pulled apart and micromanaged. And when you go underneath everything, it's so simple. The laws of the universe, the laws of nature, the knowing that we have, the medicine that we are within. These all are gifts to guide us through life. So I know that's a bit of a thing. Now, Rachel, you said, how did I come to write the book? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, that was a bit of a side
no,
track.
but I love that. I love what you've said too, because we are living in this world where scarcity is such a mental culture. And I think that ties into it too, that the scarcity, oh, you're not enough and you don't have enough and you need to be more, and all of that sort of stuff. It all comes from that fear-based scarcity of the conditioning that we keep seeing in the media everywhere you look. Actually, you go on social media. That's why I've sort of dropped off from Facebook a fair bit, because there is so much scarcity in the conversations. And I mean, you just need to stay, as you say, come back to you, center yourself, and just stay in your own lane. I think it's just a much more powerful and less noisy and just nicer place to be, right?
It is. One of the little things that I've been doing for the last couple of months at night, and this is something that you guys might enjoy. I visualize a switchboard in my thinking, and I go in there and I switch off scarcity, and I switch off old timelines, and I switch off old identities. I actually say it, old identities off, scarcity off. I do this little process. And then on the other side, it's like flow of abundance on, vitality on, new timelines on. And this is the thing I'm doing at night. And you know what? It's really interesting because you start to see these little changes happening because you're actually commanding the shift within yourself, because those things that we've been playing out are not real. They're things that have been used to control, separate, divide, and polarize people. You know, so when we start to come back to our sovereign self or our unique self or our light, we get to choose what we switch on and switch off. And we've got to remember that that's our right. So it's a fun thing to do. You can switch anything off. Just if you've had enough, switch it off. It's nice and simple. But coming to write this book, it was very interesting because I've known Rachel for a long time, and I wanted to write this book, and she helped set me up with, you know, the templates and all the rest of it to do. And so I devoted time. I said, right, from the 1st of January, this is, you know, when I decided to write it, on the 1st of January, I'm going to sit down every day and I'm going to write this book, you know. And the day came, 1st of January, and I came and sat down in my office, opened my computer, put the template up and went, oh, I can't do this, and shut it and walked away. And do you know, I turned my phone off and I didn't go onto my computer. It was nearly 21 days. And it was in my head, but what I did in those 21 days, I went and basically lay on the couch and watched freaking Netflix. And I don't even know what I watched. I just left my body. And then one day I thought I better turn the phone on. Here's messages from Rach. I thought, oh God, I better talk to her. And she said, you know, I want to see where you're at with your book. Send me what you've done. And I was so embarrassed and I was so ashamed because I hadn't done much. So I said, I haven't done much. It doesn't matter. Just send it to me so I can see where we're at. So you got to get this out. We've got to get it happening. Such support. It was wonderful. And I went and I was so embarrassed. I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I opened my computer. Now, before 1st of January, I had asked a friend of mine to collate a whole lot of stuff I'd written. I did a challenge for myself in, you know, the few months before I decided to do the book. And it was to put an awareness, like a 4 to 5D awareness out in my socials every day. So I'd get up every morning and I'd write something. And I had this whole lot of stuff and I asked her to collate it all for me, not for the book, but for something else. And the day I opened the computer, here's this email from my friend. Here's your file of all the stuff you've written. And I'd had a look and I went, I wonder if I can use this. So I sent it to Rach and said, this isn't what I was going to write, but do you think this is usable? And oh my God, it was like, yes. And that's how this came. And, you know, when I look back, those 21 days lying on the couch, I don't know where the hell I went. I really don't know where I went. But when I look back, what it was I had committed, I had commanded, I'm going to do this book, but something in me had to go through a shift to actually own it. And that's what I really understand with people writing books. That's yes, I'm going to write a book, but to practically do it, you have to shift something in yourself. There has to be a congruence and a coherence for the flow to come. Some people, it just pours through. But when you're actually on the threshold of going, I'm going to do this, every not enough will come up. Every fear will come up. Every resistance. And that's what happened. And so for those 21 days, for me, I was being blissed out, like taken out of my body, watching Netflix, but something was reorganizing inside me. So by the time this other thing came through, that was it. And that's how this was birthed. 52 Shifts in Consciousness. I loved it. And the process with Rach, so supportive and so inspired and really clear about, no, not this. And you need to put this in here. You need to do this and we'll do this. It was so good because it's exactly what needed to come through. It's like she knew what was needed and how to draw it out from me. So it was fantastic. It was a great process and I'm looking forward to doing it again soon with my new one.
I just think it's it really is an amazing book. I know that it came about in the most craziest ways, but that's happens a lot. I see that happen a lot, but also the work behind it too. I don't think I'd like to talk about that because you've been doing what you have been doing for a very, very long time, and you've got Medicine for Your Spirit. That's your website, that's your brand, and you do retreats away to India and Sedona and all these amazing things. But this work really has, the work that you do and how you help people, it's taking you to so many places. What do you think it's opened up for you, other than, I suppose, the speaking and the retreats?
What it's opened up is the next level for me. Every time something crosses my path, it's not really planned as a big strategy. It's like the next thing arrives as an intuitive understanding, and I go, okay, let's open that door and see what's there. So where it's taken me to is living my life with full trust in what's next, a beautiful relationship with consciousness and the universe, because, we work together. It's brought me some amazing people into my world, really beautiful, very high energy, high awareness people. I've even done stuff with Gregg Braden. Oh my God, who would have thought? The travel has been great, but I think the biggest thing for me, what's opened up, is watching people remember who they are, the light that they are, and how they have their own power. That is the thing. That is the thing that I think brings me the greatest fulfillment, is when people get themselves and they get out of their own way. And and I think that's one of the biggest things that all of this has helped. This going to different places is wonderful. It's different energy. It's connections. It's experiences which open you up to yourself. It's really great. But at the end of the day, they're experiences that you have to choose how you want to deal with them and live with them as you move forward. You can go on retreats to, and I don't mean this in a bad way, go to Bali and have a, fabulous time. But if you're not embodying yourself, you're not connecting to yourself deeper, if you're not learning something, it's this journey of learning and this journey of realization. If you're not aware of that, then everything is just fun and entertainment. And that's great. But there's also a lot of soul growth that we're here for. And so that's what's opened up for me. Yes, lots of speaking on stages at festivals and with amazing groups of people, and lots of travel and books and interactions. They're all great. But that's part of following the story, following the journey, following the labyrinth of your life.
That's right. And I always say the book is not the start. It's not the destination. It's the start of an incredible journey. As a result, your speaking has taken you to all corners of the world. Out of all the speaking events you've done, and this is probably a really hard question, but out of all the speaking engagements you've done and all the stages you've been on, what has been the most standout moment for you on stage or at an event?
Most standout would be, all right, so we have a festival here in Australia called Woodford Folk Festival. And for years, I had this vision of myself with a labyrinth, but full of light, candles. And my favourite group, Sacred Earth, performing. I had this vision. And I put it towards the festival people. This is what I'd like to do. And it was like, no, all the rest of it. And then a couple of months before the week festival, I got a phone call saying, well, you're getting what you want. New Year's Eve with Sacred Earth, you can have a labyrinth with all your light. And so I got to do a presentation. Sacred Earth performed. Everybody who was there went to walk through the labyrinth to get the experience. That was like, wow, the universe was really in my corner. And the funny thing was, the queue to get in to walk the labyrinth was phenomenal. And people were coming up because they were saying, we went past the Byron Bay donut place and we thought that queue was long, and we're looking at this one. It's just going on and on and on. I think that would have been one of the highlights, because it was something I dreamed and I visioned, and it actually happened. And so it was is something that will really live very strongly as a high point. It wasn't a sales pitch. It wasn't a drops of inspiration. It was just this community experience, and everything fell into place the way I saw it. I think that would be one of my favorites. Yep.
You've also got the Medicine for Your Spirit community group now here on Skool, which I think is fantastic. And that gives people an opportunity to get up close and personal with you in your space. You also provide a weekly energy reading in the group, which I really love. But for somebody that's not able to, or, listening to this right now, and they think to themselves, well, I've struggled with I am not enough all of my life. While they're waiting for your book to arrive in the mail, or while they're waiting to get into your community and connect with you, what 5 things could you tell somebody right now, or share with someone right now, to help them?
Okay. The first thing is recognizing it's a lie. I'm not enough. It's a lie. It's a virus. It is a default pattern. So you recognize that. Yep, okay, this is up again. I know it's not true. That's the first thing you've got to recognize. It's not true. So where am I deficient at the moment? Where am I feeling depleted? Where am I in a space where I'm not feeling good? What can I do right now to elevate it? Could be go for a walk, go and have a drink with a friend, whatever. Do something that you love doing. That's the first thing. There's only a couple of things really, you don't have to do much. The second one is remembering that this journey that we're on to be enough is a glass ceiling. When I commune with my higher beings, they told me once, being enough, why are you worried about being enough? It's a glass ceiling. If you could see who you really were. And so I got this declaration from them. And it's simply this: you start every day with, today I step into my expansive, glorious self. Overrides not enough like that. Or you can do when the doubt comes up, it's like, I am enough. I'm more than enough. I always have been. I always will be. We have to remind ourselves that the light that lives within can't be contained by something that says I'm enough. It just won't be contained. It's bigger than that. So the more we try and hold on to enough, the more uncomfortable we're going to be, because we know intuitively there's something more. So every day, today I step into my expansive, glorious self. Try it every day for a week and see how you feel, because it activates something within you. You can feel it. But as I said, go and do something different. Another way of dealing with this is if it's a mental loop thing that happens, and a lot of people do go into looping around that. When it starts, and we all know when those loops start, we can feel it. We've heard it that many times. Whatever you're doing, stop what you're doing. Change the scenery, walk away, go and do something different like that. Just, oh yeah, this is happening, I'm moving. Because in that moment where your brain's getting into that loop of I'm not enough and I'm not good enough and they're better and blah, 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 all the blah, 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 that's all this noise. And you go, oh, I know this story, I'm going to move. When you move your body, straight away the brain, it's ready for the loop, is going, oh, hang on, something different going on here. Oh, what's this? It starts to focus in on what you're actually going to do. So you go and, do something different. And straight away, you then have this space or this gap to go, I really want to think about how amazing I am, or how there's so much beauty in my life, what I'm grateful for, look at where I live, or, oh my gosh, I'm really achieving a lot. You've got to actually elevate it. I have this thing that's one of the core messages in my Alchemy of Awareness book is, everything you think, say, feel, and do, it is your responsibility to take it to the next level of how you want your life to be. You're the only one that can improve the caliber of your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your feelings. You're the only one. So when the not enough comes up, that is not true. Where do you want it to be? Do something that will help you get there. That's it. They're my tips.
And they're great tips. And, it's one step at a time, isn't it? Because, sometimes it's very hard for somebody to go from here to here. You don't have to go from here to here. You just need to go from here to the next step. And the next step is just reaching for an emotion, a feeling, a thought that is better than what you're thinking or feeling and right particularly now. So it's just one little step get there, then you can get there, then you can get there, then you can get there. And it seems to work and lift yourself out of that. And I think, just remembering that you have the power, as you mentioned, you are in control, you have the power, nobody else has the power. You are in control of where you want to be, what you want to feel today, what you want to do today, what you want to achieve today, that kind of thing. I think it's wonderful that you provide this amazing insight, but you do have a very unique way of working with people, and this is not it, but just to experience that, I don't know anybody that's walked away from a session with Raelene and just went, that hasn't gone, oh God, it just completely it is transformational, your work. And I want to say a big thank you for not only bringing that gift of that into this world, because it takes guts, to be honest, to do what you do. It takes courage to step into who you completely are and be that and live up to the potential of that as well, in that capacity. But also thank you so much for being an amazing, beautiful, gorgeous friend that we have this amazing friendship, Rails and I help her, she helps me, and we've done it that way for as long as we've known each other. In fact, we both met at a speaking event, didn't we? So yep. It was incredible. So the journey of being an author is an incredible one if you allow it to be. And I guess you have to remember that you have the power to be who you meant to be, like you're stepping into your purpose and bringing that gift to the world and helping other people transform their life like Raelene has. So we're going to drop all the links to all of your books, your declaration cards, your journal, there they are. I've got mine.
I actually pulled one. I pulled one before you came on. Oh, shall I read it?
Absolutely. That'd be lovely.
This is the declaration that came out just before we came on. I remember my light, and I choose to explore new horizons and expand my knowledge.
Oh, isn't that perfect for the Skool Bookshop? Wonderful.
There you go.
We're also going to put a link to your Medicine for Your Spirit community group as well, which is only new. You only just started it a little while ago and it's already got well over 100 members. That's typical you. You've got a massive big following. And why wouldn't you have? Because it's really great information. It makes you feel good. It helps you progress in life. It helps you connect. It helps you become who you really are. Thank you so very much for being here. Love you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. And lovely to meet you, Kimberly. I hope you found something helpful in all of that. Keep at it.
Did you have a quick question for Raelene, Kim?
I guess it's just a right place, right time thing. So, yeah, because I nearly missed this and it's like, oh, my God, that it's just blown me away. So I'm like in awe. Just so you know.
You're pretty awesome too, though, Kimberly. Remember that.
Yes, we all are. We all have this beautiful light that contributes to if the universe wouldn't exist if we weren't here.
100%, 100%. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
I really look forward to seeing more of you in the Skool Bookshop and getting you back in the author spotlight, and talking more about your next book and the courses and the programs and everything else that you have, which we haven't got to today, but there's so much more. Please go and make sure you follow Raelene and have a look for her book in the Skool Bookshop shop and I'm sure that you can probably sign it too, Raelene.
I do. Every book I send gets signed with a message.
Fantastic.
And a surprise. You get a card or something with it as well.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. We'll see you next time.